Yo, what's going on, guys? Let's talk about what happened in yesterday's game. We beat Aston Villa 3-1, and Thomas Partey and all these guys were in the team. Guess what? Lacazette and Aubameyang started up top. Thomas Partey scored the opening goal. Great to see him on the goal sheet. Everyone celebrating with him. And then Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang got the penalty at halftime because of a controversial VAR decision at the end, just before the whistle blew. And then you can see we were dominating at halftime. Completely dominating the game, and Aubameyang's goal made it 2-0. Then you go on to the next part of the game where we finished it off with the Emil Smith-Rowe goal. It was a beautiful game overall. Let's get into it. Today's match reaction and match player ratings. You already know what it is. So yes, guys, you already know what it is. The Kitty G on EGTV, and I'm back again. How you guys doing? I hope everybody's well. Shout out to you guys. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button or hit that like button, do me a favor, do that right now. Let's get into it. We're going to be discussing for the next hour, I would say we're going to be discussing everything that happened in this past game. We're going to be talking about the penalty. We're going to be talking about the goals. We're going to be talking about performances from the likes of Nuno Tavares, Emil Smith-Rowe, Thomas Partey, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Lacazette. We're going to be talking about the good and the bad with the Sakas and the underperformances. And once again, what do we do with Nicolas Pepe? Because he didn't play in this game, and people were saying if he did play, it would be a little bit of a different story. So yeah, let me bring some of the guests in. Shout out to everybody. And yes, let's get the show started. Big up to the guys in the house. How you guys doing?
Hey, bud, I'm good. You hear me well?
Bro, I can never hear your mic, bro. I don't think it's on.
Yeah.
Baba, are you there? Yeah, and yo, people on Facebook, come join us on YouTube for the rest of the video.
You hear me now? Are you hearing me?
Let's get this show started. Yes, people in the chat. I can see Tim's in the house. I can see Terrence Tip. Sup, y'all? Egal's uncle from Mogadishu, but I live in Sweden. You know, you're funny. Terrence Tip saying, I hope you're good. I'm good, bro. I'm very good. What do you call it? Baba's in the cut. Baba, what you saying? Hello? Baba, you there?
Yeah, bro. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Are you hearing me, guys?
Everything's blessed, bro.
Yeah, bro. Sahal, big up yourself, bro. I hear you, bro.
That's not Sahal. That's true.
Jared.
I swore that was Sahal.
Nah. But yeah, what we're gonna be doing today is we're gonna be discussing the game. We're gonna be getting into the match player ratings for each player and how they did and what we thought about their performances overall. I personally feel like it's gonna be a situation where we're going to need to see how we're going to do this, how we're going to go forward from here, and if we can get better and kick on from this point. Because now that we're doing this, we need to kick on. We need to push forward. Big up to Armory TV supporting the thing. Shout out to the 14 people in the chat. If you guys would do me a favor, all smash that like button. That would be really appreciated. I'm getting feedback from somewhere. It's you, Bilbao. If you want to just jump out, Bilbao, and come back in, that'd be greatly appreciated. But yeah, first things first. Overall, the game. If you guys have already missed it, I thought we played well. I thought we performed well. I thought we did well when it comes to the overall performance in the game and how we scored the goals, how we played from the 90 minutes. I thought we were dominant in the first half. The way we took control of the game in the first half, and we were relentless. We scored the first goal with Thomas Partey's corner goal with the header, and then we continued to push, and we kept going. Eventually, we broke them down, got the second goal from the VAR decision, and finally, Emil Smith-Rowe ended it off in the way that he ended it. But yeah, what'd you think, my guy?
Yeah, man, I can't disagree with anything you said. It was a great first half. We dominated, as you said, we were all over them. And for the first time in a while, normally we'll start a game like that, right? Dominating the first half, and then in the 40th minute, the other team has the tails up because they got a chance. We made some mistake. But it wasn't like that. We dominated from 0 to 45, and it was brilliant. It was really, really brilliant. Second half, getting some chances as usual, but we saw off the game for once, and we had good game management. And yeah, I'm very proud of the fella. But my standout player for me was Nuno Tavares, for me. I know the other guy scored goals and whatnot, but his work rate, his first full, well not full 90, but his first full start, he did really, really good. He had some mistakes, obviously, but I'm really impressed with his game. He did really well.
Okay. And then what about Eagle shows everyone the video of what the hell is he talking about? Okay, Bilbao, what'd you think of the game, bro?
I like the game a lot. I have to say the same thing Jared said in terms of like the best player. I think it was Tavares for me. Like, that's his pace and power, bro. It's like, and with Tierney, I'm a big fan of him. Probably my favorite player in the team. But if we're being honest, his performances. Could you hear me, bro? Could you hear me, bro? Yeah. As I was saying with Tierney, his performances has been, underwhelming. So I think it was a breath of fresh air with Tavares. Also, Smith Rowe. I've been a big critique of Smith Rowe on the spaces and all of that, but he looked wonderful in that game. He was basically the best player on the pitch for me. But as Jared said, I was most impressed with Tavares, especially because he hasn't featured that much. And to come on, after you haven't, had much game time and look like that, like I have to give him his props.
Oh man, honestly, man, I don't know what is going on. Where did all the momentum go? But yo, Gerard Bilbao, I'll tell you this, man. Overall, I felt like it was a sick performance from the beginning to the end. I felt like we did well. But Bilbao, do you have any concerns going for out of this game with Saka and his performance?
Nah, I'm not worried about Saka, bro. Saka is the last of my worries, bro. The thing about young players like Saka, they're not fully developed, right? So they're going to have games where they look like the final product, and they're going to have games where they lack development. But Saka has been, I think he showed during his time at Arsenal that we don't need to worry about him. Like, the guy is going to be a great player. The guy is going to be probably one of our better players in the future. Like, look at his performances for England. It's the reason Gareth Southgate wants a guy, bro. Like, the guy is a baller. I'm not worried about Saka. Even if he drops a 0 out of 10, I'm not worried. I have that amount of faith in him. But in terms of what I'm worried about from the performance is that in the last maybe 15 minutes of the game, especially when Ramsey scored that goal, we kind of look a bit scared in terms of we look like we have past trauma because Aston Villa had a few chances, especially with Bailey on the right hand side. They had a few chances to punish us. So that will be my only worry. I think it was a very complete performance. I was very, very happy watching this game afterward, bro. I was so happy that we won. But in terms of a worry, the only worry would be I, I can't pick a worry, but the only worry would be that we looked a bit like we switched off after we went 3 up, which is something that Arsenal Football Club cannot afford to do. Like if we even go back to the times where we went away to Newcastle and we were 4-0 up and then the game ended up 4-all, we can't really afford to, even if we're up 3-0, 4-0, to give teams an inch. Because in the Premier League these days, you see what Ramsey does. You don't give these guys an inch because one mistake, one bad mistake, you could have a full performance for 75 minutes. And if in the last 15 minutes you make two mistakes, the game could totally change. So that will be my only worry from the game. But I have to big up my guys, man. I big up Smith Rowe as well. I've been hard on him. The guy looked world class on the day. So big up to him as well.
There you go. And my guy Jonathan says Iga shows yesterday whenever Smith Rowe and Odegaard is not on the pitch together, we win. Only 3 games we won when they played together. Ooh. So what do we think about that, guys? The fact that Smith Rowe and Odegaard not playing together was a driving factor to us winning. Would you say that? Would you say that's an incorrect statement?
I'd say that's a correct statement, actually. I
Yeah.
would say both of them are too similar for them to be on the same pitch in terms of what they try to do for the team. I think in terms of like creativity, they both do the same job, but you can't have two players of like that do the exact same thing playing on the pitch. Like we're not Man City that have that quality. Because I think if they were of a high quality, it wouldn't even matter. But of course, I wouldn't say they're Man City quality. So playing them at the same time just doesn't make any sense, in my opinion. For like you play one with the other, or you play Smith for a left wing and play Odegaard as a cam instead of a centre mid, and then you play Lokonga and Partey behind. Other than that, you shouldn't be playing them together.
There you go. We got Jonathan here also. Let me just ask you guys your thoughts on the game, by the way, before we go. Let's go with George first. George, what was your thought on the game? Overall performance.
Our best performance of the season, like by a mile. Like everyone on that pitch had a good game and had an 8 out of 10 minimum for me. There were times, I think the last 9 minutes of the game when they did score, we kind of looked a little bit shaky. But at the same time, I didn't think we were going to concede another one. I think I said it before, our defense isn't something I'm worried about anymore. I think it's more so, can we kill off a game before, the pressure starts piling onto us? Because we've got to remember, these guys are young. At the end of the day, we've got I think we have the youngest team in the Prem, other than the Palace. I think we have the youngest team in the Prem. And when you have a team like that, of course, things like the Crystal Palace game will happen if you don't kill off games early, because the whole uncertainty starts to creep in, and mistakes start to get made. And when things like that start to happen, that's when you start seeing mistakes like Lokongas and Parties being made, and that's just down to the attack. So I feel like if we kill off teams, that performance, you'll see it, and you'll probably think that's not even our best performance by the end of the season.
There you go. Big up Aslan in the chat, and he's just coming through. I'm gonna let you go, Jonathan, next, and then Aslan after you. What was your thoughts on the performance?
I was very impressed by the performance, and I think there's a lot of key factors in that performance that you can maybe pick out. First one is Lacazette. It shows that Lacazette is very key to this Arsenal side, not just by his all of play, but by his leadership qualities. Even yesterday, you saw when he won the penalty. Aubameyang was giving him the penalty and he refused. Aubameyang would not give no one else on the pitch the penalty. So he showed that, basically shows that he is a leader and he is one that's going to drive this team forward. Now, there was this claim yesterday, Igal, when a lot of persons was calling for El Nene, right? And he showed yesterday what Lakanga bring to the team. El Nene would not do nothing like that, because what Lakanga bring to the team is that he just don't sit back. He actually drive forward and try to make plays, which El Nene, which I don't like, would just sit in the midfield and just let Partey do everything, which I don't believe that would help Partey, because you want to share the workload basically. So, and another thing I called for was Tavares to replace Tierney, not because he's better than Tierney. Not because he's better than Tierney, but for me, he is fearless. And right now, he is somebody that you can see the hunger in his play, which I believe Tierney for. I don't know if the injury is carrying, but he seems a bit timid when he's going forward. And I believe that he's just, take a back seat right now from maybe a 2 to 3 match, and let's see what we can get from Tavares. But it was a very compelling performance. Hopefully this formation and this set of players play against Leicester, because I do not believe no one deserves to be in the next match day squad.
There you go.
And that's from the person.
I wanted to say something on that Tavares point. I think the difference between Tavares and Tierney is that Tavares is an athlete and Tierney is less so of an athlete than Tavares. Like, you saw it yesterday. The way Tavares was like manhandling their winger, Matty Cash, he was manhandling these people in their duels. Like, with Tierney, you're always scared when he goes into a duel because of how injury prone he is. That he's a much better technical footballer, but in terms of, like, for example, I'll give you Kyle Walker as an example. Kyle Walker isn't a fantastic defender at all, but because he's athletic, his athleticism literally makes up for his poor defending each and every time. Like, if it wasn't for his pace, Kyle Walker would be a shit defender. But because of how good he is and how technical and how much of an athlete this guy is, he makes up for it. And that's what you're seeing with Tavares. He's not a better defender than Tierney by a stretch of the mile, but he is a better athlete.
Okay, let's go to Aslan, and then welcome Musti and Gunner Express. We'll go to you guys right after Aslan. Okay, Aslan, what was your take on the game?
Yeah, for me, last night's performance has been our best performance, our best game so far in this new season. And yeah, you know, like I don't have a lot of negatives. I mean, if I was to point out a negative, for me, it would two things. One, that we conceded a goal. That game deserved, Ramsdale and the defensive line, I feel, or just as a team as a whole, we deserved a clean sheet. And Arteta's, like, if I'm going to nitpick, Arteta's substitutions. I just feel a couple of players could have been subbed a lot sooner, and some of the bench players could have been introduced into the game sooner as well. But overall, like, we played as a team, as a unit, as a collective. And again, sorry, one other criticism. What I've noticed, even though in the 2 games that we've kind of dominated out of the 9, even in those 2 games that we done good, we seem to suffer from like this the last 10 minute syndrome of the game. You know, like as soon as we concede, like we look a bit shaky, we look a bit nervous, we look vulnerable.
I think that's down to the age. That's probably down to the age of the team.
No, I mean, George, it's not just with this Arteta's team. Like I've seen it under Emery, I've seen it under Wenger as well.
I said the age of the team.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But like I said, like I've seen this under previous regimes as well. It's not just under Arteta's reign. But look, those things aside, like it was a great performance. I'm very happy as a team. Everyone put in a shift. I don't believe anyone, anyone played bad. The players that got introduced, or like the squad players that got introduced over the usual starting 11, they turn up. And look, at the end of the day, this is what I've been saying all summer, where like I want to see a group of players or just a squad as a whole. I want every player, like the 2 players who are competing for the starting 11, I want them to create this healthy competition. So the manager doesn't have a injury headache, but he has a selection headache. So yeah, man. I mean, look, I criticize the team and the manager a lot, but in the few times that we do produce, I've got to give full credit to each and every one of them, and they all deserve their flowers on the performance that they gave last night. So yeah, big up to the team and the manager.
Gunner Express, your turn.
Yeah, what's the question?
No, it's just match reaction. What's your thought on the match? Obviously, you said what you had to say on your channel, the Gunner Express. Check it out. Let them know where you're from, and also just tell us what your thoughts are.
Well, I mean, look, the game, obviously, happy that it's a win. Like, there's not many negatives to pick out. I mean, like Aslan said, if you're going to have to pick the negatives out, for me, it's the Martinelli sub. I don't like, what else can he do at this point? You're getting literally 3 minutes of added time in a game that's already won. So I don't really know what he can do as well. Obviously, with Arteta ruling out him going out on loan, it kind of seems like he's just destined just to sit on the bench for the rest of his career, really, which I don't see him wanting to do. So we need to find a solution to that one. But other than that, there's not really much. I mean, the goal, Ben White should have done better for the goal. For me, I don't know if we're going to get into that goal in particular later, but I'm not going to talk about it too much. But yeah, man, I mean, positive performance. Arteta got it right. Playing the 4-4-2 worked. And if you're asking me, I'm sticking with that formation for well, for the foreseeable future, until obviously teams figure out how to actually beat it. But Aubameyang, Lacazette as a double striker, like there's two strikers, work better than anything else we've had really in an attacking three. And Ødegaard being out the team, it works. With Ødegaard, we haven't gone forward enough. We don't press enough. We don't get the ball to the wingers quick enough. Whereas when he's not there, we do that. We've seen that yesterday. Ødegaard drifts to the right too much, which I've been saying since we signed him, which is why I didn't want him, because he's not a central player, which is what we need. Unless we're playing a 4-3-3, I'd keep him on the bench. I'd play everybody else over him, even Elneny. And Smith Rowe, for me, has earned that left wing spot. Pepe's finished. He's done. When Smith Rowe's a better left winger than you, when Saka's a better right winger, when Martinelli's a better left winger than you, you're finished. You're done. So get rid of him. Get someone better in January, whether it be Noah Lang or whoever else. And then, move on from him. But other than that, I mean, it's all positives, bro. Like, there's not really much to be negative about. Not that you should be. Do you know what I mean? Like, when we win, be positive, man. Like, it was a good performance.
There you go. Laurie was at the game yesterday. Shout out to Laurie. He called me literally at the game. He was at the game, literally sitting in his seat, and he called in. Big up to Laurie. Musti, you're next, bro. What are you saying? What do you think of the game, man?
Hey guys. It was a good performance, good result. I'm just glad to see that we were clinical yesterday when we needed to be. If I can start, looking for nitpicking for certain negatives, I'd say that maybe we could have got more goals. Saka should have finished his chance. I feel like there were some more chances that were created, but it felt like the team were happy with 3-0 and they didn't want to kind of go forward more.
Yeah.
For me, I would say that is I don't really like that, if I'm being honest with you, because for me, how I'm looking at it is I don't care who we're playing. I want to see as many goals as possible. We need to be blowing teams out of the water. Whether you think it's done or not, you should, as long as there's time left on that clock, you don't stop. You don't sit back behind the ball and have 11 players behind the ball in your own half, trying to win that ball back. Because I think that's what we were doing after the third one went in. We were just playing on the counter. We were playing on the break. But then, we went away from everything that worked for us so well in the first half, and basically had like a different strategy, which I get as well, because he's trying to manage the game and see the game out. But that's what invited Villa for them to actually get their goal back. I feel like if we were still putting the pressure on them, maybe we wouldn't have conceded that goal, because we wouldn't have been playing so closely to our own goal. I felt like everyone really did well yesterday. I was impressed with Lokonga particularly. Tavares had a great game. Ramsdale's distribution. For me, I never want to see Leno play for this club ever again. Honestly speaking, and I can sit here and say, I've tweeted this as well before, but I didn't want Ramsdale in. When we were linked with Ramsdale, I was one of those people that didn't want him in. But I can literally hold my hands up and say he's been a quality signing, and easily should be getting into that England squad now, ahead of Pickford for me personally. Also, the one thing that I did notice as well is I think the team tends to play in bursts in terms of the game plan that we're trying to play. We don't consistently play it from the first minute to the 90th. I get that it's difficult to do with obviously the pressing that's required and whatnot, but against Tottenham we played the first half and the second half was non-existent. Against Palace we played the first 10-15 minutes and the rest was non-existent. And I felt like again yesterday we were good for about the first 60-65 minutes, and then that was it. The remaining 25 minutes was up for grabs. I think we need to consistently dominate games from the first minute to the 90th. But apart from that, I mean, like I said, it's a great result, great performance, but that's just me sort of nitpicking a little bit.
I hear that. I just want to take from that point, guys. Before this game, everyone was saying, has Arsenal ever dominated a game this whole season? And probably you could say even the Tottenham game, we never dominate games. But even Man City, did they dominate that whole Brighton game? There was spells where Brighton had the ball, Brighton did well. Yes, because Brighton's a good team. But do you guys think that this is just how football is today? You can't beat teams full 90 minutes. Every team's going to have a moment in the game where they're going to have some sort of momentum. And you can't just say we have to beat every team 90 minutes. I get what you're saying. You're not saying that, but you're saying you're nitpicking, right?
So the only reason I said that is
But-
when we're losing games, that's what happens to us. Man City, when they beat us 5-0, what happened? We weren't even in the game once. Against Chelsea, we weren't in the game. Against Brentford, we weren't in the game. So if teams are able to do that to us,
I
then we
think
should be able to do it to others.
against Brentford, we were in the game. We just didn't create good enough chances. Like we had 24 shots on against Brentford, and they only had like 6. Like we did have pressure on them. We just didn't actually, execute any passes well. And on the point of with the gal, like I wouldn't even lie to you. Like that is how football is meant to be. Football's not meant to be a game where one team dominates the whole pitch, because you're gonna see tomorrow.
Later, Tim.
No matter how.
Go ahead.
We're gonna see tomorrow. Yeah, like Liverpool and United. We can say United are as shit as hell, like, but. And Liverpool may be the best team in the world, but you're going to see a spell when United will put Liverpool under pressure. It's football. The reasons why we didn't do it under City and under Chelsea is because we were poor. Like, you do face teams that are just generally poor, and then you dominate that game. Sometimes it's just on the day. I honestly feel like with Aston Villa, we were the reasons why Aston Villa did not play well. We didn't allow them to get past our midfield, and defensively, whenever they tried to put the ball over the top, it was cleared. Even for Villa's goal, it was a jammy goal. I was watching it in the north. It was literally on my side when I was watching it. Of course, I was at the stadium, and it bounced. Like, Partey easily should have tackled Bailey. I don't know how Bailey kept the ball, and Bailey was able to slip it through to not even slip it through. He was able to touch it on, and it was just a world-class finish from there. Like, it literally hit the crossbar and in. So other than that, like, when it comes to dominating teams, you will still have that kind of, 10, 20 minutes. Even if you're dominating a game, you will still have 10 minutes where a team will pop out and show that they're on the same football pitch as you. Unless you're facing Norwich.
I want to have this conversation, because you know what? We need to have this conversation now. What's up, Shocks? My guy, Shocks, doing his thing. Shocks, just before we have the conversation about Ramsdale and Martinez, because Martinez and Ramsdale played each other today. I mean, yesterday. And let's be honest, Ramsdale's distribution is amazing.
Second to none.
That part of his game, we can say he is better than Martinez. Martinez might be a better traditional goalkeeper, and we might have not had to buy Ramsdale in the first place. But for a modern team, the distribution that he did, if you guys seen that clip going around on Twitter, I feel like that part of his game alone, and having that part of his game being a part of our attack, starting our attacks from deep, helps us so much going forward.
I agree.
We almost underappreciate him now. It's almost becoming nature.
There was even simple passes, because there was even simple passes that weren't in that clip that I still remember that were like in terms of they were simple, but they were effective. Like, his distribution isn't just let's hoof the ball and see who gets it, but it was calculated and pinpoint. Like, he was passing like a centre mid yesterday. Like, it was literally all the passes were to the chest.
I called him Mesut Ramsdale yesterday, blood. This bro was moving mad, bruv. Like, listen, yeah, you see, the thing is with that, yeah, is when obviously Martinez and Leno were being compared as who's the right number one, and everyone overlooked the kind of stuff. Like, everyone was just comparing Martinez to Leno, saying that because Leno could distribute better. Martinez he's just a better keeper. Really and truly, when I look at it, yeah, I don't even think Martinez's distribution is all that. It's not that great. Like, but it's levels above fucking Leno's. Hence why now we're looking at it and we're seeing Ramsdale's improvement, and we're just saying, yo, this guy needs to start to the point some people are even saying fuck shot stopping. Like, don't worry about it. Like, do you know what I mean? It's mad, bro. Like, I look at Martinez, he's a really, really good keeper, but we've all had this discussion over the past couple of weeks and that, yeah. Like, in Aston Villa, he stands out as an excellent goalkeeper, goalkeeper because it's Aston Villa. Like, could he maintain this level of goalkeeping throughout the whole season at Arsenal?
Yes.
You genuinely believe that?
He shocks. He was literally our second best player in the FA Cup run, like
Oh,
easily.
that's
He was the reason why we were so defensively solid.
Guna, stop it, man. That's an FA Cup run, bruv. That's an FA Cup run.
Bro. Who did we play? We played Man City and Chelsea. Everybody loves to bring that competition up because of how good Aubameyang was or how good Arteta was. Well, Martinez was one of the main parts of that win. Like, and when we were struggling in the league, when he came in, we actually looked better, and everybody said that at the time. I think people have this recency bias where we forget things. Martinez is still a very good goalkeeper. The defence of Aston Villa this season has been woeful. Tyrone Mings is a fraud of a centre-back. He doesn't deserve to play in the Premier League. He's a championship-level defender at best. Konsa has struggled this season. Even Matt Targett and Cash have been quite poor as well. He is one of the best goalkeepers in the league still. I don't care what people say. His distribution is very good as well. Again, everyone's forgetting that now. He still has great distribution. He had great distribution when he played for Arsenal, which is why so many of us were annoyed that we sold him, because his distribution was better than Leno's.
Better distribution than Leno, bro.
No. I'm not saying that. I think Ramsdale does have better distribution than him. But what I'm saying is the reason why a lot of us were annoyed that we chose Leno over him was because we all knew that we needed someone who could distribute. Leno can't.
It was unnecessary. It was unnecessary to sell Martinez.
No, exactly. And Martinez for me proved at that point he was better. I'm not saying. Obviously, I don't want him back now. We've got Ramsdale. But what I'm saying is, like, there's no point of us now just slandering Martinez into the ground and say, oh, we didn't really do that well for us or whatever else. He was one of our best players when he played for us in that period. And I agree. I get what you're trying to say in terms of, you know, could he do it over a season? Obviously, we're not going to find that out because he don't play for us anymore. But last season, he was probably the best, if maybe like second in the top 3 for goalkeepers in the Premier League. He just was. So, for me, I think he could have done it in a season. But we chose Ramsdale. And I mean, for what we need, which is a distribution goalkeeper, Ramsdale's better. So we made the right decision.
And as a team that keeps possession, because Arsenal, we want to be a team that keeps possession like City. We kind of need a goalkeeper to match that. Like, look at Edison, look at Alisson, look at Mendy, look at all these other keepers. These keepers can keep up with the centre mids in the league. Like, they can pass the ball like the centre mids in the league, because it's not like with the whole Leno situation. I think with the fans, we're looking at it as because I knew a lot of people and most people on Twitter that were saying that we should keep Leno over Martinez because he could save a lot. You know what I'm saying? His save percentage was one of the best in the league, and he saved us for 2 years. That was the argument I was hearing all the time. He saved us for 2 years, so we can't get rid of him. And I was with that. But the way football's evolving, I even think is even evolving from, not evolving from Martinez, but I would say the style of play that Ramsdale has in terms of that pinpoint accuracy, like Edison and Ramsdale have. Because I think Edison and Ramsdale, not on the same level, because I think Edison is that little better at his distribution. But No, Edison is definitely.
Yeah, one second, George.
Different gravy though, bro. That bro will come to the halfway line to do to head the ball, to get rid of danger in that. Like, that's
exactly.
But
the thing is, but that's also what Ramsdale is. He's a sweeper keeper. As in, there were so many times where Villa.
Not like that.
Does anybody here feel like when it comes to Ramsdale, we judged him too soon, and now it's like everyone's coming to the conclusion that it was the right decision to buy Ramsdale?
Well, the thing with
I still think it's too soon, bro.
100%.
Remember, we didn't judge Ramsdale. It's the price that we was judging, the price. Nobody really. I mean, yes, we got relegated a few times. The price was the issue. He was a decent keeper. Sheffield wasn't terrible, but now he's showing that he can do it for Arsenal. But just to answer Shocks, I think Martinez, if he stayed, for a season long, would have been doing the same thing for sure.
We would have been asking for him to be back, like, we need a new goalkeeper at the end. All right, listen, my prime example is this, right? Remember when we had was it Szczesny? Was it Szczesny before Czech? Who did we got before Czech?
Szczesny before.
Ospina?
No, it was Petr Cech.
Petr Cech, innit? Yeah. All right, yeah. So when we got Petr Cech, right? everyone was saying, "Oh my God, our goalkeeper levels have just stepped up. We've got one of the greatest goalkeepers of the Premier League history." Bro, check of the year. Everyone was saying no. Huh?
Leno was his understudy. When Leno came in, we didn't want Czech to play again.
Facts. Leno was never going to come in and just be the number one. Like, we knew that, right? But after we started seeing how old school, because remember, everyone was saying that Czech is shit with his feet, Czech is this and Czech is that. We need Leno in. We need Leno in. We need Leno in. Leno comes in and he does a bit because he's better than Czech. Now, when we see when we see Martinez coming over Leno, everyone's saying, no, we need Martinez in over Leno. Then we go and get Ramsdale. Now everyone's saying that Leno cannot get into the side again. Like, come on, guys. Everyone keeps upgrading, and I get it. We always looking for better. Roy, listen. I'm not even gonna make that statement, but bruv, all I'm saying to you, yeah, Ramsdale works. He works with what we're doing in this team.
And the best thing about him, the upside to him over Martinez is that he's 23 years old and he's already doing it.
One second, I want to get everyone involved now. I want to get Musti Ramsdale. He's the number one for you going forward, obviously. Am I right? Everyone here, he's the number one forward for everybody. But the question is there anything that we could say about this signing? Because I feel like this signing, the price, whatever you want to say, at this point, it makes so much sense. We got to give them credit. Everyone's turned their opinion. We move on from Ramsdale and we just go on to the next part because there's nothing else.
25 million don't even look like that much anymore. Let's be honest.
Yeah, no, it's a good signing.
5 million, it was less.
It's a good signing. I think for me, all I want to see is a bit of consistency. I need him to do this, not just for the first half of the season, not just for the first season, but I need him to do this throughout his career with us. Obviously, it's going to be difficult. I understand that, but I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not willing to accept anything less than consistency from every single one of our players. Otherwise, they got to go, and that's pretty much.
And do you know what's crazy? Yeah, of course. Before we actually got him in, and everyone was saying, "Oh, he got relegated twice." We were overlooking, like a lot of people, and I was not one of them, was looking over the fact that he got player of the season at 2 different clubs 2 years in a row, which shows he has that consistency. It's not as though of course, last season with Sheffield, I think I was hearing how, at the start of the season he had, a shaky start, but then he grew into it. For someone who's the age of 22 at the time to have 2 consistent seasons in the Premier League at relegation sides, and he is the best player in both of those sides, it's kind of worrying for the rest of the league, because if Ramsdale can keep up his form for the whole season, we may be a much better team than we would have been with Martinez.
We need to also speak about Thomas Partey, Smith Rowe, and Aubameyang and Lacazette. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to ask people who they want to speak about. Anybody specifically want to speak about?
I want to speak about ESR. ESR.
Who wants to speak about Thomas Partey? Gunner Express, Aslan, anybody?
No, I want ESR as well, man.
Okay.
I can talk about Partey. I'll do Partey.
Okay, go ahead. You're gonna go on Partey. I want to talk about Thomas Partey because Thomas Partey, it's taken him 34 shots before he scored his first Premier League goal. Okay.
It wasn't even a shot.
This wasn't a shot. You see, it wasn't. It wasn't
It's a shoulder.
shot.
It's a shoulder.
Yeah. So let's talk about Thomas Partey versus Aston Villa. I thought Thomas Partey personally. I can't even say it was his best game because he's played better games.
He was at fault for the goal. 100%.
Yeah, and he was at fault for the goal. But when it comes to getting on that goal sheet, breaking your duck for scoring for Arsenal, getting your morale up, everyone raising everyone's energy. And you know what? It was the first goal of the game. So let's not make it seem like his goal wasn't important. His goal was extremely important. So I think Thomas Partey had a good game.
And he hit the bar before that. He hit the
post.
bar.
Yeah, he almost scored 3 goals. Go ahead.
Yeah, he scored.
Go ahead, bro. Provide. Gerard.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so I have some notes actually here on Partey that I was preparing. So yeah, Partey was, of course, he got his goal. So first goal, great, brilliant. I mean, we're making fun of it, but a goal is a goal, right? But in the middle, there's a few times where he lost the ball, and as he lost the ball, he was right back in the guy's face trying to win it back, and he won it back a few times. I think he lifted the level of Lacazette next to him and a few of the players around him, because everyone was just in a mood of trying to win that ball back, being the guy's face, being McGinn's face. McGinn couldn't breathe, right? McGinn normally is a bit more menacing than that, and we were all in these guys' face. He lifted the midfield in a defensive sense. He really did, and it gave Nuno room to run forward, to bomb forward, ESR to bomb forward. Everyone was comfortable in attack. No one, and of course, you don't want your midfielders and strikers always coming back to help in defense. Yes, that's good, but they didn't have to do that too often, because Partey and Lacazette and Nuno and them was bossing it. So, and yeah, Partey was really good for me. He did a really, really good job, and I'm proud of him for the goal. Hopefully this lifts his confidence, and yeah.
Okay. I think he pretty much covered everything. Everyone kind of wants to talk about ESR, so I'll let everyone touch on this.
Egal,
Yeah.
I want to speak about Lacazette before everyone speak about ESR.
Okay, go ahead.
Go on.
All right. On the Lacazette situation, for the match yesterday, I hope everyone realized that this Elneny thing, I was really surprised that so much person was calling for Elneny to reinstate into no. Why I have a problem with this is because I believe people forgot how shit this man has been for around 5 to 6 years, and all of a sudden, people want to see him back in the lineup. I believe that what Lacazette can bring to the team with a Thomas Partey, I believe that would be a good compliment for Thomas Partey, because Lacazette just don't stay in the middle of the pitch like Elneny would do. He tried to create play as well, which would which would not put everything on a Thomas Partey. I think people forgot that we used to have midfield pairing such as Cazorla, Ramsey. You have Cazorla, Jack Wilshere, and that is not very defensively compatible. However, because both players can do different things with the ball, it kind of complement each other. And I believe that Lacazette is the best complement for Thomas Partey at this moment. I just believe that both need to play a little bit longer, and Arteta is the main key to it, because he should not try to put Lacazette in a situation to try to play like a Granit Xhaka role, but let the young man express himself and let him be a good complement to Thomas Partey. So that would be my say on that.
Yeah, let me reply to you, right, Jonathan, because I was one of the fellas.
Go ahead, Baba.
Yeah, I was one of the guys saying that we should bring in Elneny for this game. I think the thing with Lacazette and why I was saying that is because what I've seen of Lacazette, except this game, to me, he just didn't look ready to play in the Premier League. When we played Crystal Palace, it was Thomas Partey versus the world in midfield, and the reason some of us wanted Elneny is that even though we know the guy does not make forward passes, he's not this type of player, he's still a good athlete. He's still a buddy next to Partey. It's not like Partey versus the world. So I think that's why
don't put comments on like that. Don't put them up.
No, that's Musti.
I know, big up Musti, but still, don't put them comments up in it. Still good. Sorry, Biba. Go on, brother.
Nah, I'm done, bro.
Yo, Musti, you're better than Elneny. What's going on?
Facts, bro. Elneny can just pass it sideways. I've got different elements to my game, fam. Allow it.
Tell that to Erdogan.
I can't even lie to you though. With the Lacazette thing, I just think it was just the way that we kind of played him. Like, I think when he came on against Crystal Palace, it was 1-1, and we're trying to win the game, and then he came on and made a mistake. I think when you're playing him with Partey, it needs to be a PMP midfield, like pace and power. Raw, like none of this. Lacazette sits back and plays the Xhaka role. It's pure pace and power. That's what we saw against Aston Villa. When you're playing Lacazette and Partey, you can't play one like a Xhaka.
You have to remember though as well.
Go ahead,
because I said Elneny. It's not that I'm saying Elneny's better than Lacazette. This is where Arsenal fans like that was saying, we should like. It's really getting confused. No one's saying that Elneny's better than whoever else. The point is that sometimes you have to put in the worst player to fit a system. This is why, like, everyone will say, an ideal World 11 will not just be the 11 best players in each position. Like, when you do a Premier League 11, people will put like a Makalele in there. Not that he's better than Gerrard or whoever else, but he fits the system and it makes it work. Midfield matters about, like, the midfield is the one area you have to balance, because it's the midfield. It's the most important of the three areas on any team, pretty much, right? The thing that I wanted Elneny for was because, unfortunately, Lokonga does not offer defensive attributes, and that's not a knock at him, because that's not his job. He's a box-to-box, and I said this when we signed him. He's not a defensive player. Neither is Partey. Partey can defend to an extent, but not to the extent of a Xhaka. The reason why Lokonga played so well yesterday is because of Nuno Tavares. That's it. That's the only reason. And what I mean by him playing well is the reason why Lokonga didn't get exposed defensively was because of Tavares. When Tierney plays,
very up and down.
Tierney wants to bomb forward. He wants to overlap the left winger and he wants to cross the ball in the box. The thing with Tavares is he's more dynamic, meaning that that's not his only way of playing. He can run through the box. He can play defensive and stay defensive. He can pass the ball out from the back. Things that Tierney can't do, or things that Tierney doesn't do, which give so Xhaka drops back into left back when Tierney goes forward. That's where the defensive aspect of Xhaka's game comes into play. Tavares didn't go forward, leaving that left back exposed, meaning that Lokonga could just sit in midfield. That's the defensive issue we have in midfield, is that someone has to drop in when Tierney goes forward.
These comments are wild.
This is why for me, this is why for me,
send Martinelli to Italy.
Bro, this is why for me, Tavares has to play and Tierney has to stay dropped, because Tierney, I love Tierney, but he doesn't fit the system. When Xhaka's not playing, and I hate Xhaka, but when Xhaka doesn't play, you have to play a defensive midfielder when Tierney plays, and we can't play it. Like, Elneny can't play, man. He's shit, yeah. So for me, keep Tavares in that team, keep playing a 4-4-2, because as well, Smith Rowe and Saka weren't playing on the wing yesterday. They were playing like a left, like they were a bit deeper, because it's a 4-4-2, meaning that they could also jump back and defend a little bit quicker than when they're in, say, a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. So for me, just keep the formation, keep the same players playing. Don't put Tierney back in that team until Tavares has a bad game, and we'll keep winning, because for me, Tavares, as I said, he's more dynamic. He has more ways of getting the ball forward, and right now, Tierney's not playing well enough to get in the team. When someone like Tavares is playing to the extent that he's playing at, even though Tierney's still very good, you can't, like, no one's undroppable. That's it. You can't have favourites and choose who you want to drop and not drop. When Tierney's not playing well and someone's playing better than him, you've got to play the person playing better, and that's Tavares. So for me, that's why I gave Tavares man of the match, because for me, he was the main catalyst for why we won that game yesterday.
He snatched his opportunity. I get where you're coming from. I
can't lie to you. I prefer Tavares over Tierney, because Tavares can actually
Yeah, but it's been one game, bro. It's been one game. It's been one game.
Tavares hasn't actually had a bad game.
Can I explain myself?
Go on.
Tavares has been here since, of course, the start of preseason, and he showed me in each and every game that he is in terms of attacking wise much more dynamic than Tierney. In terms of, he can turn on his right, he can you know what I'm saying, scare a defender by turning on his right and whip one in. His crosses right now, because Tierney's form is poor. Only because Tierney's form is poor, his crosses right now are better than Tierney's. Yesterday, I saw first time crosses straight on the plate, driven. You see the cross to Saka. If you go back and look at it, he looked up once before he got the ball and crossed it. Before he got the ball, he looked up. He already knew where he was passing.
He still had howlers of crosses though, bruv. Like, not
he's had howlers. Yeah, but that happens in football. But the thing is, with him, I sometimes feel like Tierney's decision making is slow. Sometimes it's so slow. Sometimes he slows down play. Sometimes when he has the ball on the left side, you know that he's gonna try and switch it onto his left. You know that he's not trying to cross it onto his right. Like, of course, he has the odd game where he cuts onto his right and whips it. You know what I'm saying? The West Brom goal. Of course, he has that in his locker. But I feel like Tavares also has that in his locker. And if Tavares had any sort of finishing product, he would have got 2 goals last night.
He has got a finishing product. He has. I've seen it.
Yeah, but in terms
Hello,
of,
are we
of
having
scoring,
one second? Are we having one second?
No, the thing is though, yeah.
One
I
second,
think
Scott, one second.
Yeah, go,
If Tavares and Tierney are both fit tomorrow for the next game, are you guys telling me right now
Tavares.
you would play Tavares over?
I'll play Tavares over Tierney, but Tierney's injury sounds like a bad one anyways. It sounds like Arteta said he doesn't know when he's coming back.
This is the thing, right? This is the thing.
So people in the comment section, let me know. Is it Tavares or is it Tierney? Do we have a left back situation where it's going to be now a debate?
This is the thing, right? Like, look, I love Tierney. Like, I think, look, Tierney's been one of our best players, if not the best player last season, right? But the thing is, first off, no one's undroppable. Second off, it's not a bad thing. Like, some Arsenal fans have this like notion where competition's a bad thing. Like, we can't have him being dropped. It's the best thing for you. You look at Bayern Munich, who's still for me the best team in the world right now. They have competition everywhere. You've got even Choupo-Moting's like, obviously he's not going to drop Lewandowski, but he's putting up competition. He's competing for that number 1 spot. You've got like every single player in that team is competing for that spot.
Fucking Cedric Suarez is putting up contract.
No, not Arsenal. No, I'm saying for Bayern Munich, like every single player in that Bayern Munich team is competing for that number 1 spot, and that's why they're so good. When you like as a player, right? If you've got like Tierney, this will be good for someone like Tierney, because Tierney for me, a little bit like Leno did, got a little bit complacent, not like as much as Leno did, but he kind of felt like, oh well, who's going to overtake me? What, Cedric? Like if I drop a few stinkers, it ain't going to matter. With Tavares there now, putting in performances like he is, Tierney's a professional.
Yeah. Tierney has to always play well.
Exactly. Always. Tierney's going to look at it and say, if I play bad, he will take my position, so I have to perform every single game, and that will push him further, and that's a good thing. You want that. And it's why I'm happy that we have like Smith Rowe and Ødegaard pushing each other, because it's making them play better. So for me, you can only take it as a positive in a sense that it's good. It's good competition. Tierney's not playing the greatest right now. This could be the catalyst for him getting back to his best. And that's what we hope for.
100%.
That's facts.
That's the reason why I want Saka to be dropped for like. Do you know what? Saka's overall play is good. It's just his end product, and that's the reason why Martinelli doesn't play over him, because his overall play, like you can't beat Saka's overall play. Like when the ball, like yesterday, when there was one pass here Ramsdale gave to him that went directly on his chest, he was able to control it and pass it. Something like that you don't get from a lot of wingers in this league, especially at the pace that the ball's coming in, and you actually got a deep sometimes that when it comes to competition, it's not bad. That it's never bad, as Guna Express said, it's never bad to have your favorite player that's going through a drought be benched. Like Pepe, I used to love Pepe, but then when I started to deep that we had Saka, ESR, and Martinelli that could probably do a better job than him on the wing, I started to realize that kind of competition we didn't have last year. If we had that competition, of course, you know, William wouldn't have played as much games, but that's down to Arteta anyways.
That's down to the money laundering.
But even now, like right now, everyone's complaining about Martinelli not playing. Of course, I hear him not being substituted, because yesterday I was calling for him to be substituted over Saka. But the fact that we're able to say, oh, we want to drop Saka after him dropping, 7 out of 10s, that's exciting for me, because that's how Man City are. Man City will have Mahrez score a goal today, like he did, and he will be benched. And it won't be like he'll be happy to be benched, but he knows that the players in front of him are doing much better, and he's got a goal. So just imagine that when you have that kind of competition, it breeds a championship mentality, because you're not just competing with the rest of the league, you're competing with yourselves. You're competing every single day on that training pitch. And something like that needed to be adopted at Arsenal for a long time.
Okay, guys, quick question. Right now, everyone, I just want to take a quick poll. Who's actually starting, who would actually start Tavares over Tierney for the next game?
Me.
What, next game as in the League Cup, or the next game as in the next Premier League game?
The next Premier League game. I think we played Leicester away.
Away to Leicester.
Yeah.
Look, for me, look, I echo pretty much what GX has had to say.
I'm waiting for you to say this.
As well. For me, look, I've said it for the longest, or throughout all the summer. We need 2 players for every position within this squad to create healthy competition. Because until we have that, we're going to get players who are going to be complacent. We're going to get players who are going to be flat-footed. I want all of these players within this squad to be on their tippy toes. I don't want nobody comfortable within this whole squad. Yeah. And at the end of the day, the age-old saying, you're only as good as your last game, right? And for a manager, I believe any manager should be picking their players, whoever the opposition is, on the next fixture. It should be decided on form and merit. Yeah. And, again, as much as I love Tierney as well, and on many streams and many spaces, we've discussed where, what he brings, or, what he did in the last 2 seasons. And, we were discussing about whether he's he's in contention to become, a captain, or at the very least a vice captain. But look, Tavares yesterday, he had a very good game. I was very impressed. Yes, there were a couple of moments where, certain his decisions in the final third, for me, taking shots, things like that can obviously be worked on and be ironed out. But overall, he had a solid, for me, we're obviously going to get to player ratings later, but he had a solid game. So I feel he deserves that starting place against Leicester when we face them away in a week or so. So yeah, Tavares for me.
I wouldn't start him for this reason. I think, based on merit, of course, you would start him, but I think Leicester away is a totally different game than Aston Villa at home. And for that reason, I would keep Tierney. I also don't want to, I know he had a great game, but, Tierney has been a solid player. It's like Tierney has money in the bank at this point, you know what I'm saying? So, and Leicester away, that's a totally different game. You're dealing with Patson Daka. You're dealing with fast players, Iheanacho, Vardy. It's a different proposition. So for that reason, I'll go with Tierney. He seems a bit more solid at the back than Tavares. And more experience.
In the bank thing, though, no player has money in the bank. We've done.
Yeah,
what
I say about that is
I know what you're saying, because look, again, no one's hating on Tierney. Before anyone in the comments tries to no one's calling Tierney bad. No, he hasn't been bad this season. He hasn't been one of our worst players or anything. But what we're saying is, when Tierney's standards are consistently dropping 6s, 7s a games, getting in scoring positions, whipping in really accurate, good crosses, he's not doing that right now. And when Tierney's main aspect is dropping crosses, and he's not doing them very well, and it's not really helping us, he doesn't do much more. And again, he leaves us exposed in the defence, and that's not a bad thing. But when you're not doing much going forward and you're leaving us exposed in defence, and when Xhaka's injured, and when the only other player we can play is Elneny, I would just rather have Tavares in there, because he offers that bit more defensively. And as of right now, he's shown more in that one game going forward than Tierney has. As in, obviously, he didn't get any assists or anything, but he looked more dangerous. He was getting in scoring positions. He was, getting in better. But let's be honest, if Smith Rowe's passing was just a bit better as well, there'd have been many more times that Tavares would have been played through for crosses.
That's one thing I wanted to
do. One second. Just before we go any further, thank you, Jonathan, for coming on. But of course, there's a little bit of background noise in the background, so I'll just have you on the next time, mate. We're going to be doing the player ratings next, so we're going to need a smaller panel. Thank you. Gerard, big up to you, bro. I'm going to see you. I'll have you on Monday, hopefully. So I'll speak to you then, bro. I'm just going to take some people out just so I can make it a little bit smaller panel, right? And then Bilbao, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
Bro, I'm just gonna take you out also just so I can make it a smaller panel, okay?
All right, bro.
Just before you go though, can you give me your man of the match? Oh, he left. All right. Enough said. Guys, we're gonna go into player ratings, right? And I'm gonna start with Musti. Musti, if you can give me your player rating for For Martinez. No, why did I say Martinez?
Martinez.
Ramsdale. And then
Martinez gets a 0. Gali was shit.
And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna work our way down, and when we get to players that we all want to speak about, we're gonna all speak about them because I don't have much time and I need to shorten it down a little bit. So yeah, Musti, get started. Ramsdale, what are you giving him out of 10?
I'm giving him an 8.
8 out of 10 for Ramsdale. Okay, 8 out of 10 for Ramsdale. Everyone agrees?
Nah, it's too high for me.
Yeah, I'll say 8. I'll say an 8 because he was actually he was one of our best players in terms of everything. He was under pressure and literally split their midfield open under pressure. He had there was one time when he had Ings running on him and he found the pass to I think it was Smith Rowe, literally wide open.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll give him an 8.
Okay,
Yeah, I think 8. I think an 8 is fair because look, all of the things that he done right, commanding his box, being very vocal, his decision making, his distribution. At times where, the little spells that Villa did have, the vital save that stands out for me was that Buendia chance in the second half. So yeah, I feel an 8 is very fair. Like he had a solid game yesterday.
Okay, people in the chat, play along. Give us your ratings. We got a guy giving 7, 6, 7.5. Ramsdale's passing were mad, so it's saying his passing was really good. Everyone here is giving him a 7 or 8, so I think 8 is fair. We're just gonna go with 8 and see what Arsblog also gave. Arsblog gave an 8, so there you go. They gave some great passes there. That's what they were talking about. Tomiyasu. I'm gonna do Tomiyasu. I think Tomiyasu overall was a safe performance. I didn't think he was bad. I thought he was really good actually with clearances, blocks, defensive work. Just when he got into the final third, I didn't really see much contribution. So that is the narrative of the story with Tomiyasu, but that's not his job really. We ask our left side to be more of the attacking side. So I'm gonna give him a 6. I think that's fair. What are you guys saying?
6.
Yeah, I agree with 6.
That's harsh.
I think that's a bit low, man.
That's harsh.
What would you have given?
I'll give it. Do you know? I would kind of agree with a guy. If there was a 6.5, I would kind of agree with the ground because because of course there was times there where he left the right exposed.
I was going to mention that.
Like Ben White did cover for him a lot. And it wasn't a bad thing because of course he's going up to attack. But there were some times when I think he just didn't have his best game. So a 7 or a 6 would be, 6.5 would be perfect. But
I think
of
as
course,
well, on the attacking thing, real quick, like obviously it's not his job because I agree that it's the left side that I meant to attack. However, don't put yourself in those positions. Then, like there was one chance that really fucking pissed me off. He had the ball and he was like literally, it was a simple cross. He could have easily crossed it and had the space and time. And when we like recruited him or whatever, when we brought him in, not recruited him. We brought him in. The one main thing that a lot of us mentioned that it was his weak side was his crossing, and I think he knows that, which is why he didn't put a cross in. But like, we then lost the ball, and it's like we had a great opportunity to put the ball in the box. One or two players were like semi-open, could have got ahead or whatever else. And because he knows he's not good at crossing, and he didn't want to cross, he waits for Saka to come, and Saka didn't get there in time, and then he lost the ball. It's like, don't put yourself in those positions. Then stay back. Make sure that your players are as well around you that are aware that you can't cross the ball. You need to come quicker and help me out. And he didn't. So for me, a 6 is fair. I think he had a good performance, but I don't think I don't think he did anything outstanding or anything that stood out. Whereas like Ramsdale, made those saves and had those really great passes. So it was just a
6
down the line, down the line performance really for Tommy.
So obviously,
they gave him an 8. They gave him an 8. They said he recovered 8 balls, 100% heading clearance, energetic and committed.
Yeah, of course, the defense was good, but
for me, it would have been a 7 as well.
Yeah, 7.5 for me too.
Okay. Ben White, Musti, what are you giving Ben White?
I'm giving him a 7. It was just a very steady performance. He did really well. He at times, kept his defensive partners out of trouble, putting some good blocks. But again, for me, he was at fault for the goal.
Wait, Ben White was at fault for the goal?
from how I saw
I thought Ben White had nothing to do with it. I thought it was.
Yeah, I just want to clarify as well. When
I
I
think
say
everyone's seen it in a different way. Everyone's seen this goal in a different way.
because when I like when you asked me about the game, I think I said that Ben White was at fault for the goal. I meant Partey, innit? I think that Partey for me was at fault for the goal, not Ben White.
Partey was definitely at fault for the goal, man. A lot of people are trying to justify it, saying it's Gabriel and Ben White at fault for the goal.
No, it was Partey.
I can't see it.
For me, look,
I'm in that camp. I'm in that camp.
For you guys, yeah. As a centre back, you never turn your back to the ball, and that's exactly what he did. A man's taking a shot, and you're turning your back to the ball. You shouldn't do that. You should take that ball to the face. You should not pause. But you should not. You should not be turning around when there's a shot.
Nigga, pose, nigga.
I'm glad he realised that. I'm glad he caught that.
And if you guys noticed as well,
stop getting out of hand. Go.
If you guys noticed as well, Ramsdale came straight out and bollocked him.
Oh yeah, shit, my bad.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, he
For
did.
me, you can't do that as a centre back. You have
okay,
to.
so 7.
Yeah.
I'll say 7.
It is. They gave it 8. They said Matt made a couple superb blocks. Saw him carry the ball a few times forward. Great passion.
I was going to say I'd given him an 8. I thought he was brilliant.
I thought he was one of. I thought he was the best back out of the two.
Bro, out of the two, for me, Gabriel was the better centre back.
No,
for me, it was Ben White because of the dribbling.
I agree that Gabriel was better. Yeah, not saying that Ben White was bad, obviously, but like for me, they both get 8s because, like, obviously, I say Gabriel's better, but like it's not like a point better or anything. But bro, that run that Ben White made, right, when he literally just sprinted all the way up to literally sprinted up to the opponent's D on the foot.
Yeah, in the first half, you know.
And then he passed the ball off to Smith Rowe. Like that was techie. And for me,
100%.
That alone, but like just it's the balls to do that. And I've been complaining. Like Louise used to do that, which is why I was kind of upset with like when Ben White didn't do it. But I think.
Yeah, but all right. So let's be honest. When we was all hearing about Ben White being rumored for 50 mil and that, yeah. I know we all checked out a couple of compilations, and tell me how many times you saw Ben White do that in the compilation where he literally gets the ball in centre half and he makes it look like he's just jogging. He gets close to I don't know, 2 of the attacking players and maybe 1 midfielder. It would look like, and all of a sudden he just bombs. He bombs through the middle of the park.
He did it quite a few times.
What?
He did it quite a few times.
Few times. And yesterday he was cooking when he did it. The guy was. All it took, was for him to actually make the right pass. And you know what? I would say he did make the right pass. The only fucking thing is the person weren't ready to receive the ball when they were. And
no. When he passed that ball off, Smith Rowe got the ball, but then he lost it.
Bro, and
the pass was the correct pass. It was just Smith Rowe didn't lost the ball.
Weren't expecting it. Exactly. This is what I'm saying. So these men ain't really used to a defender coming back and doing those kind of things. When you see your centre back running through the middle of the field, all you need to do is make yourself space and be ready for that fucking ball, because not one of you know who's going to get it. Let's be honest. Like, he is actually doing an impactful thing right now. The second you get that ball, you have to be ready to just cook. And that's why I don't know. How much did you lot just give Ben White?
7.
I give him an 8.
7.
Yeah, I don't know, man. At the
end of the day, this is a democracy, not a dictatorship. So, look, there's 5 of us here, and the chat are involved as well. So, if some of us are saying 7, and the majority are saying 8, give him an 8. You know,
I'm just talking my point, like what I believe. Like literally, I obviously in that space that we was just in earlier as well. Yeah, you had a lot of people saying that he was at fault and he was crap. And it's like, are you all right? Like,
no,
your agenda's away now. Seriously, let's be real now. And I'm not talking about anyone on this panel. You lot was in the space that we was just in a minute ago, like, and everyone was actually going at Ben White. It's like, are you all right?
Hey, put your agendas away, all right?
Let me. Oh, Samuel's in the house. Big up, Samuel.
We got man.
Yeah, Ben White. We're just gonna keep it moving. People in the chat are giving him 9s and 8s and 7s.
Gabs has to get an 8 though, man. Anything less is criminal.
Okay, Gabriel, are we giving him an 8?
8.
I'm giving him a 9.
8.
At least an 8. At least an 8.
I think they were both solid. They both done their jobs in different ways. They done what they had to do. Yeah. They both did an 8. Same way you're giving Ramsdale an 8. They all did their jobs. And this is the reason I never gave a Tomiyasu, you know, an 8 or anything like that. Like, he gets a 7 because he did his job at the back line. Same thing with Tavares. Oh, we're not going to Tavares yet, but I think
wait for
all of them.
Tavares.
You can do Tavares. You can do Tavares. I think Tavares gets an 8.
He gets
Nah,
an 8.
bro.
Nah,
Tavares,
gets a
for me.
9, bro.
Gets a
Tavares
9.
is my man of the
Bro,
match.
this
The man.
then, I'll tell you
All right, guys. All
Man
I'm
of
going to
the
say to you right
match.
now, yeah, is watch who you're giving 8s and 9s, because
Yeah.
when it comes to the real 9s
And the man of the match, yeah. I hear
and
you.
man of the matches, like, you're not giving yourself
No, but
enough space.
Tavares
Listen, bro,
is
as-
my man of the match, bro.
listen,
For
now
me,
and give him. From what I've seen, I was up close to Tavares. Listen, this guy was good tonight, bro. He's a all rounder. He's a
He
good
was
footballer, bro.
He was excellent.
Listen, I don't think he warrants. I think the best man pitch warrants a 9. So I'll give him 1. No, I don't think it was my man of the match. I'll give him an 8. An 8 for tonight. Last night's performance, man.
I think that's
So you
respectable.
give Tavares an 8, right? Okay, then so then this is where you lot might need to reevaluate your numbers then, because he was better. You know what? 8.5.
Exactly, he was better.
Give Tavares an 8.5 then. Give him an 8.5.
No, the reason why like he was my man of the match, yeah, was because you look at his performance, just him, yeah. You might say, okay, it was an 8 performance, but you've got to look at what he being on that pitch did, right? As I said, if Tierney played that game yesterday, it would have been a different story. We still would have won whatever else. And I'm not blaming Tierney, but what I'm saying, yeah, is again the dynamicness that he brings helped us win that game, and the fact that he plays more defensive and doesn't leave that left side exposed when he goes forward like Tierney does, it allowed Lokonga to play a bit further forward, to play those passes, to not even have to focus on defense. You look at Lokonga and Partey; they didn't even have to look backwards and say, "Oh shit, am I needed there?" Because they just knew that their defense was there. And with Tierney, they can't do that. So for me, him allowing us to play more dynamic and play a bit further forward. And when we all complain about the pressure and not keeping the pressure on, for me, he's the reason why we kept the pressure on for so long, which is why I give him man of the match, because the way he plays, the way he played yesterday, allowed us to open up and be that more dynamic, which is what we needed to be. So that's why he's my man of the match, because he won us that game.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't score anything, he won us that game for me.
Yeah.
He was very involved.
Okay, so Tavares 8.5. Aslan, Musti, you guys are the final deciding factor. Are you giving 9s or are you giving 8s?
For me, it's a solid. I mean, look, up until now, I didn't know we could give 0.5, scores. But yeah, for me, it's a solid 8. Like, and that's not to take anything away from his game. Like, if I was to nitpick again, it was more to do with us progressing into the final third in that first half. I just felt that that time when he had a shot outside the box and like a couple of passes, his decision making could have been better. His choices. So that's why for me he doesn't get a higher rating. So, but again, he had a solid performance. So I just feel an 8 is very fair.
I agree with Aslan. I probably would have given him an 8.5 only because I feel like he done a little bit more than the others, especially being his first Premiership start, first home game, first all of that. Like, he really, really did a lot. But at the same time, that whole Tierney thing, Tierney's been putting in sevens minimum when we've been playing our worst football all the time. So I think it's too early for everyone to write off Tierney. Not even write him off, but just say he needs to get dropped. I don't know.
I agree. It's one performance, 3 games. It's too early to be saying that there's a left back.
But on the counter,
it's a good thing to discuss going forward, though.
Yeah. On the counter, Tierney's had 5 bad performances, though, right? So.
No, but Tierney's bad performances are other people's average performances.
But Tavares yesterday was better than Tierney's worst, so you play the better players.
Yeah. Okay, so for me,
it's one game. One game.
Musti, go ahead.
Shucks, this is
1 second, guys. Let Musti
play him more so he can be consistent.
Let Musti go, and then we can move on to the next player.
Yeah, give the chance.
Yeah, so for me, I'm giving him a 9. He was my man of the match. I think most things that we did well came through him yesterday. Defensively, he was immense. His energy going up and down, I feel was transmitted as well throughout the rest of the team. I also feel like him being there next to Gabriel helped Gabriel in terms of communication wise because they can both speak Portuguese as well. I don't know, man. I just for me that was just a quality performance, and I wasn't really sure to expect that from him yesterday. For me, I'm not gonna sit here and say he's better than Tierney because he's not. So for me, Tierney's the better player. However, how I look at it is competition and competition only. Because he put that in yesterday, I think it's his shirt to lose now. Tierney has to come back in and do, he has to outdo him in order to get his shirt back. And it doesn't mean that he's worse or better. It just means that this is what I want to see from all of our players going forward. And I feel like now saying that we also need to look at a right back in January for the same reason.
Yo, Musti, everybody, did you know that the man had 12 attacking passes in the final third and 3 passes on that led to shots on goal?
No, he took 3 attempts on goal, and I saw them. They were fucking horrible.
Oh shit, 3 attempts on goal. Horrible. I'm sorry.
They were horrible. I won't lie to you. I saw them. They were skied and wide and red.
Yeah, one of them was. No, Lacazette had the worst attempt on goal by far.
Oh mate, that went to the top tier in the clock end goal.
When Lacazette took that shot, I swear to God, I was still looking for it. But yo, let's read some comments, guys. Let's read some comments. 1 second.
He's been practicing shooting with fucking Party. That's what he's been doing.
Yo, let's read some of these comments. They were going in. Aslan, first of all, he's saying, question for Aslan, are you supporting Tavares now? By the way, Musti,
look, it's a fair question by Dizzy because he and everyone here, and most of the people in the chat tuned in, knows my thoughts on Tavares when he was our first signing. I question because I never watched him. I never really questioned his on pitch capabilities. Like I never knew who the guy was until we were linked to him, and then eventually actually buying him. For me, I questioned his mentality, his stuff that he done off the pitch. So I was very vocal about that. But again, he's come in, he's putting in the shifts and the displays that we all like to see. And at the end of the day, I want to see healthy competition. At the end of the day, every player who gets the nod in that starting 11 has to earn their place.
Okay.
Yeah. And once you get that opportunity by the manager, you have to perform. And once you do, at the end of the day, the manager should be choosing you on form and merit. And I just feel that, he put in a good display, allowed the guy to build consistency and build some type of momentum. And, make Tierney think twice that, look, I've got to pull up my socks, train that a little bit harder in training. And the moment Tavares slips up, that's me back in the starting 11. That's how it should be across the whole team, come match day. So,
okay, Samuel, what are you giving Pate?
Bro, you know what? Listen, for some periods of the game, I remember when I think it was Watkins was throwing goal and he got the ball off him. I couldn't see the game clearly because my eyes were effed. Literally, I forgot my glasses yesterday, so I could barely see shit. But no, from what I could see,
Sammy's got glasses, yeah. Man, I ain't never seen you with glasses on stream, bro. Get the contact lens out, man. Come on, be yourself.
No, I think Samuel can't get over the fact that he got a selfie with Cara, innit?
What are you guys giving Partey?
Samuel's out here trying to do a fucking.
Partey gets a 7 for me.
7. You saying 7?
I'm not gonna lie to you, because he scored the opening goal. You gotta give him minimum at 8.
No, but
you lot are taking away from the fact that let's be honest, like he done his job in midfield yesterday.
But that's fine, right? But example, say we're winning, I don't know, 2-1, and then he does his job, and then he lets that goal in. It's 2-2. So in the context of the situation, yeah, we're 3-0 up, yeah, cool. But clean sheets matter.
Yes! Look
goal
at
difference
it, sexy
matters.
boy. I'm just a sexy boy. Call it Sean Michael.
Boy.
What are you guys doing?
Bro,
But
look at
Bruno,
this, bro.
was he
Right.
definitely at fault for that goal, or was it? Because
No,
I
100%.
obviously I don't know
No,
now.
he
innit?
was definitely
He put in a very half-assed tackle, and if he put the tackle in properly, he would have taken the ball straight off of Bailey. I think it was Bailey. So like, it's a matter of great game, and this is why I'm not giving him anything lower than a 7. A 7's still high, but it's you cost us a goal. You cost us the clean sheet. Even you got to remember, right after that goal, if Watkins was actually a good footballer and not shit, he would have scored and it'd have made it 3-2.
He
Yeah,
slipped
that
as
was
well.
that was
Did you see when he
Ramsdale.
slipped?
That was Ramsdale. Ramsdale. saved that.
No, it wasn't even a save, Gali. He just completely missed it. Like it would have been like it was a very easy opportunity to score a second goal. So letting that goal in, getting again, Partey drops he drops his concentration just randomly. Like he did it against Palace when he lost the ball. He did it yesterday as well. He just loses concentration randomly, and he can't do that. Like you
He
can't.
slipped
do that
at
in the
one
Premier
point as
League.
well in the box, and it almost turned
Sam
into
is
a
a
goal.
gangster nerd.
Yeah.
Looks like a gangster nerd. You're gonna get robbed or email me.
That was
What?
the deadest joke ever, Dizzy, mate.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
having
they
no
have a
Samuel.
day of
Salah.
That was almost
Doesn't
as dead as the Orlando Magic. But anyway,
I'm not having no Samuel.
Oh.
Salah. Fuck that.
Bro, we were glasses of pride, bro.
All right, yo, let me just show you guys what we've done. So
Glasses guy, bro.
after listening to everyone, I genuinely feel like it's between 7.5.
yeah, 7.5. Give him that in it.
That's
Yeah, I was gonna give him
Only
that rating.
reason why we go 0.5s is because you have to pick solid ratings, and then when we can't decide, we go in the middle.
Middle. Yeah. That's
So
reasonable.
they went with 8. As you know, we tend to be a lot more harsh than they are. They're
Yeah,
very,
not with fucking.
They're a little bit too
Tavares.
nice.
With Tavares,
we can lose 2-0, and they'll somehow still give people 6s and 7s.
No, in fact, they will.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
we could lose 8-0 and they'd still give like someone a fucking
So they
ball.
said good to see him get on the mark finally, hit the post early, but headed home in the corner and got the first goal for Arsenal. So there you go. Lakanga. I'm gonna go to. Did I go to Aslan yet? Aslan. No, I already went to Aslan. Musti, I went to you. Gunnar Express. Good, take it away. Knowing you're harsh, you're gonna give him a 5.
I'll give you my quote. I'll give you my quote from what I said on my channel yesterday. He had a Vieira-esque performance, as in I'm not comparing it to Vieira or anything stupid. Yeah, I'm not stupid with it. But what I mean is like the way that he played in terms of he wasn't just defensive. He wasn't just like he did everything. He passed. He was able to use a bit of tech to get around players. His dribbling was good. Like he did a performance that Vieira would do, where it's I'm just going to be that midfielder. Like I'm going to do everything. I'm going to be everywhere. I'm going to be in your face. I'm going to do everything. The only thing that he complained about is his shooting, which was fucking horrific, right? But other than that, he was good. Like everything he did was good. I mean, again, he was able to play like that because of Tavares. So I'm going to give him a low. I gave Tavares a 9. I know we didn't in the democracy area of it, but I give him an 8. Because again, without Tavares, it might have been a different story. But he was good, like, very good. I still don't think I would play if we're going to put Tierney back in the team. I'd still drop him for El Nini, but that's just me.
Okay, yo, people in the chat. The reason why I've not been putting your comments up is because only one person or the same 2 people keep giving us ratings. If you guys want to get involved, it's an interactive show. Please do me your part and just put your comments in.
Dizzy, well on, bro. You're
I'm seeing a guy giving Partey 5.5. Is he all right?
Dizzy, control these men in the comments, bro. What's going on?
He's a Chelsea fan. Allow him.
No, not about him. I'm not about the Partey guy. I'm like, bro, look what these men are saying. Look.
What are they saying?
No, they're talking crazy. Allow it. Anyways, you can't see what's blocked on StreamYard.
Yeah, true.
Continue. So
Dizzy's still a fraud, though.
Moving on to the next guy. I think Lakanga, you give him a 7.
I give him an 8.
8. We're giving 8 to everybody. This is amazing. So yeah,
I wouldn't have given him an 8. Me personally, I probably would have given him 7.5.
Nice, bro. Give him a 3. Be nice.
Oh, okay.
I do think Lukonga was good yesterday. I probably would have given him a 7.5. If I'm being, I don't think he was as good.
All these 0.5s, fam.
One critical thing about
guys, moving on to the next one. Just because there's short on time, guys. I'm sorry. Let's move on. Who wants to go on Saka? Because I know some of you guys like to talk about.
I'll go on Saka. I'm giving him a 6.5.
What?
Saka was poor yesterday, bro.
Yeah,
you gave him a 6.5.
You weren't poor, but you weren't great.
Yeah.
No, but 6.5 is too nice.
Well, you know, I'm being
I was gonna say
reasonable.
6.5 is too high.
Wait,
reasonable
Miguel, what would you give Saka?
I give him a 6.
Personally, I feel like Saka is a 5 or a 6, like very mixed performance. So I can't give him anything higher than a 6.
Just by the way, he gets a 6 from me as well.
The reason why I'm giving them the 0.5 is because he was still in the positions he needed to be to make that difference. That's the other reason why he gets that extra point. But essentially, his finishing was poor, and his end product yesterday was poor.
Yeah, people here
100%.
think
Whoever just
one
said
guy
7,
here
I
before.
agree. Whoever just said 7, I agree.
Bro, Musti, I totally agree with you, but again, I feel 6.5 is too nice or too kind, bro.
We can give him a 6.
For me, like, I don't want to say it was bang average, but it wasn't even a 6. For me, it was a 5.5 because he slowed the game, or like when he got the ball on that right hand side, he would stop the runner play and play it back or play it inside. And you know, his set pieces yesterday, was it our first corner from that right hand side? It didn't beat the first man, so his set pieces were poor. And you know, like when he was through on goal, you know, I said this when I tuned in half time during Igal's watch along. I feel he could have done better with that chance, because that link up play between Smith Rowe and Tavares on that left side was silky. The way Smith Rowe fed Tavares whilst he was attacking the final third was a beautiful pass, threaded pass. And, you know, the actual square ball, that low cross from Tavares into the box for Saka, he should have anticipated Martinez's dive, took a touch. Yes, he can use both feet, but we all know he's a dominant left footer. So he should have taken a touch on his right and finished it with his left. So yeah, and like how he lasted 90 minutes.
It's ridiculous, bro.
Like
I think he was injured.
So
I think he was injured.
He had a, you know, yeah, and you know, from the back of you know, the Crystal Palace display and the way you know, he played and the challenge that was made towards him, like that should not have been a 90-minute game for him. So yeah, look, overall, I expect more from Saka. But yeah, I just feel 5.5.
So do you
Okay,
remember
he created. One second. He had 4 attempts on goal. He created 6. He had a total of 4 possible goal involvements or key moments in the game where he could have scored, where he could have either scored or.
Bro, I test over stats.
So overall,
These stats are
overall, he had 7 opportunities to get involved in either goal.
Exactly. How many of those opportunities did he take? 0. So
he had 0 of them.
So
but they still 1 second. They still gave him on our blog an 8.
Bro, they're happy, fam. What the fuck? 8, fam.
What the?
Oh my days, man.
Wait a second,
So remember when we done the preview for Palace and I said to you who should get dropped?
An 8.
Yeah.
They've given everyone an 8, bro. Are these not happy? Did they even watch the
game? Let's just be nice. Lacazette, what is Lacazette getting? I'm gonna go to Samuel.
Listen, from past the game, you know, he was actually quite good, you know, than his average level, you know, from the past few years. He wasn't average. I'll put him above average. I'll give him a 7.
Musti?
What?
Bro, you gave Lacazette 7.
Taking the piss.
7. Bro, Lacazette set the tone of that whole game, bro. If it wasn't for Lacazette, we would not be playing the way we played last
time. I know you man had a better view. No, wait. Let me explain.
You was at the game. My bad.
Yeah, so I wasn't really okay. I'll be honest. I wasn't even looking at Lacazette most of the game. I was looking at Gabriel and Ben White most of the game, because that's the only place I could actually see with my eyes. Because I was a stupid idiot and I couldn't see shit. So I could only see Gabriel and White. But
this is the definition. This is the definition of fans that go to the game. They don't go with glasses, and they're not even there to watch the game.
No, Samuel was just starstruck from meeting Jamie Carragher, man.
I'll tell you something, bro. I was staring at his steward for like 5 minutes of the game. I look up, I was like, oh shit, I missed 4 minutes of the game. Look at this fucking steward.
Whoa! What the pause? What the fuck? What
Bro.
was this student saying?
No, I was daydreaming. I was just turning around like.
Was she that nice?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. No, I was
Painting,
daydreaming.
yeah.
I was
You
daydreaming.
went to the game and sing.
Painting cool Madison, yeah.
Bro.
Man saw a painting in the steward.
Bro, I nearly fell asleep.
Yeah,
Sit
I
down, sit
guys,
down, bro.
guys. Daniel's getting a yellow card. What do we overrule him? I'm saying 8 or 9. What do you guys say?
8.5.
I'm saying 9. I'm saying 9, bro. 9. Comfortably. 9.
9.
8.5.
I think you guys got to remember that Lacazette was a sole reason why we got this, why we got the second goal. Sole reason why we almost got a goal and it got disallowed. He started the press. He set the tempo. A team that was 18th in pressing. Lacazette almost created 2 goals from pressing.
So that's 2
Big up,
games.
big up to Shy, yeah, on Spaces, because she was saying, I don't know what this glue you lot talk about, but I will tell you this from now, yeah. Lacazette, and look, there's been a lot of people saying we need to play Lacazette as a number 10, right? I know on paper it looked like a 4-4-2 yesterday. Lacazette was not a striker yesterday. He was in the striking position, but he was the guy that was dropping deep when everything was coming up.
Can I just say, we spent £40 million on Odegaard, who's worse than Lacazette in the number 10.
And Lacazette actually did do a better job, and I can't.
Oh, dizzy.
And Shocks, just to add on to what you just said, I totally agree with you, bro. Every time he did drop deep, he was the decision, he was the tempo setter, and the way he was switching, like he was the one who was deciding which way to go, pass, switch the play, whether to go left or right. It was always down to him,
or even back. Like he was the guy to say, yeah, there's
Okay, so 9.
Yeah, I'm saying 9.
Okay, what's the likelihood that we've given him a higher rating than Arsenal?
They give him a 10, bro. Watch it.
They're gonna give him an 8. I guarantee you.
Can we get a drum roll, please?
Give him an 8.
8.5.
8.5. I said 8.5.
I don't care about these man's fucking ratings anyway, man. Fuck
Okay.
I can't believe I got called deluded
guys.
for saying we need to play Lacazette.
Every single person here.
Facts.
We all did, bro. We all
Facts.
did.
Every single person here speak about Smith Rowe right now.
10,
I'll
bro.
start. Smith Rowe is the definition
Better than
of
Mason Mount. Better than Mason Mount.
definition of the statistics doesn't always prove.
You know what? To stop comparing him to Mason Mount. Hey, what we need to start doing is, yeah?
Stop,
bro. Allow the Chelsea chat, bro. Please.
No,
I beg.
That's the guy we need to start talking about.
No, I'm not having this yet. Yeah, now Shocks, I agree. He's clear of Mason Mount, yeah? Facts, clear of Mason Mount. Not even comparable, bro. Mason Mount. These lot talk about minerals, blah, blah, blah. You want to talk about minerals? Smith Rowe has the minerals, bro.
Minerals are expired, mate.
Yeah. Mason Mount is a dead baller. This guy scores a hat trick. One of them was a penalty, by the way. Scores a hat trick against Norwich.
And he missed the first one as well.
And these lot are trying to say that Smith Rowe's he kills flow. Fuck yourself.
You know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying.
He's clear of Mason Mount, bro. Clear of Mason Mount. Mason Mount's a bum, bro. Absolute bum. When Smith Rowe drops Mason Mount in the England team, you're crying in it.
8.5.
And listen, all you need to know
9 for Smith Rowe.
All you need to know, yeah.
I'm saying 10.
Gareth Southgate was at the game yesterday,
bro. If we don't pick Smith
I'm bringing ESR for that future England thing, yeah. I'm just saying. On top of that, he turned out and he's in fucking Chelsea's home ground today, bro. I'm just saying, innit? The guy knows who he wants, bro. He knows who he wants. Yeah?
Come on, don't know the thing already, man.
Saka's definitely getting benched after that performance.
Yeah, that's true.
Look, bro, Saka's tired, man. Arteta's not managing him correctly, and I said this to you guys before Crystal Palace.
100%.
He needs to get dropped.
Yeah,
he needs to rest. He's played too many games. And this is what's going to happen.
Must be spitting facts, bro.
Bro, he got burnt out last season. Towards the end of the season, he was burnt out. He was on empty, bro. Nothing left in the gas tank.
Bro.
I think it was mad as well that he's actually performing better for England than he is for Arsenal right now.
That was true. That is true.
Because there's less expected of him.
So, yo, can I tell you guys? I'm gonna give Emil Smith Rowe a 9.5.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't dispute that.
I think man of the match by far, country mile man of the match in my opinion. I don't.
Bro, for me, it was out of Smith Rowe or Lacazette.
Yeah,
like it was out of those two. Like,
and I think the fact that Smith Rowe got the goal, it edges him.
Yeah, he go. No, but I'll tell you something. You know how good Smith Rowe was last night? I could see he was good, bro. That's not how you know he was good. I can see he was actually good
Guys,
last night.
let's save
That's how
10
he
for a
was.
hat trick. Let's save 10 for a
Yeah.
hat trick.
That's what I'm saying.
Nine.
10's too high.
The
Yeah, I
worst
don't
thing
think
is, though,
anyone
I don't
said
give
it.
10s. I never give 10. In order for you to get a 10, that means you've never lost the ball. You
No,
scored
no,
a
no,
hat
no.
trick.
You have to
You
score
got
2
a
goals
hat-
and an assist. Like, let's be honest.
I don't
Mason
know, I
Mount
just-
Well-
today, he's getting a 10.
Yeah, he got
Well-
a 9, bro. He got a 9.
Well, bro, our fan base, or like the new era of fandom, like to bring in the pre-assists. If Saka had finished his food on his, that ball that was fed through him for Tavares on the play, the pre-assist was through Smith Rowe's vision. The way he
guess
thread
what?
that ball into
Pre-assist.
Azan, you know why that's wrong?
Pre-assist
Because
are
if
good.
Saka would have finished his dinner, he would have had 4 goals.
Pre-assist, like, bro, like I hate the fucking.
Bro,
like,
how do you go
that
from
thing is, bro,
how,
boring.
no, but bro, that chance, that opportunity was a clear-cut goal, bro. That
Bro,
should have
he
been.
had-
no,
Saka
but
had
in
3
fact,
clear-cut
you can't
chances,
rate
and he
Smith
missed
Rowe
all of them.
higher for that. Like, bro,
Bro,
Smith,
do you
like,
remember
he didn't score.
Aubameyang, he passed the ball to Aubameyang. Somehow it came back to him. He could have just he could have tried to do a better shot, but instead he
Bro,
tried to-
anyway, Saka aside, we've done his rating. Look, for me, Smith Rowe, every time he got the ball, bro, his first instinct on that half turn is to drive forward with it, bro. That is what I want to see of my attacking players.
He wasn't perfect,
This guy, he is fearless, bro. He is fearless. Yeah.
Aslan, tell Smith Rowe to pass the ball better.
What's up, Elijah?
But again, Guna, look, the lad has only just turned 20. Yeah, these are things in his game. No, 1 second. These are things in his game that can be ironed out. Yeah, he's only 20, bro. Like we all know, we all know the ability that he has. Hence why he's broken through the academy into the squad and now into the first team. Yeah,
fair, but he's a first team player, so you ignore the age. Like, I'm ignoring the age. You're a first team player. You play for us.
But
Chelsea fans ain't with fucking Callum Hudson-Odoi, bro.
That's
They're not ignoring it.
Yeah, that's Chelsea
Stop it,
fans, bro. That's
now
Chelsea
stop
fans.
that.
I don't care
If
about
they're using
Chelsea
age.
fans.
I'm using age as well. I don't care. Plus, on top of that, you lot are forgetting, yeah, that the reason Emil Smith Rowe even scored that fucking goal is because he intercepted Aston Villa's play, bro. He intercepted it, threaded the ball along, and then somehow it got to Aubameyang. One touch, Aubameyang flims it over the whole top, and then boom, he runs on to score the goal.
That's fair.
That is
That's
greatness, bro.
fair. But
And that's in like the 70th minute.
Let me just
ignore his bad things. You can't just ignore them.
Oh
Like, that's
shit!
pathetic.
Man of the match.
Ignore them.
Why the
yeah,
fuck?
but GX, bro, we haven't ignored any of the, like the little mistakes from all the players that played yesterday, bro. Like we've mentioned them, we've highlighted them.
You haven't mentioned anything that Smith Rowe's done wrong.
Wait, you haven't done Oba, bro.
Bro, you didn't give me the opportunity. Once I started waxing lyrical, like you
whoa. He just done 5 for Smith Rowe. Fix that.
That's not Smith Rowe. That's Erdegaard.
Oh, Erdegaard. All right, shit.
How the fuck are they? Sorry, how are the fucking hell? How are they giving him a 7, bro? What?
They said he came on, made some good passes.
No,
so that means you get a 7 for that.
Do you know what I mean? Bro, how many? Wait. So by that description, bro, what? So he came and played like what? He came on at 68th minute, played what? Around 25 minutes in total. Came on and made good passes, and that warrants a 7.
That's their say.
We might as well give Aubameyang a 10 because he scored a rebound from a penalty.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you, Aslan. You said 9, right?
For who?
No, didn't we give Lacazette a 9?
Yeah.
For me, it's got to be 9.5 because wait, did we give him an 8.5? All right, so 9's cool. So for me, he's a man of the match then.
There you go. Man of the match. Not only did he score, he put in a hell of a shift defensively. That's what they said. And to sum up the fact, his goal reminded me, guys, of Ramsey's goal versus Tottenham in his last North London derby, where he literally ran the whole half and with the ball, no contention, and then slotted it near post. It kind of reminds me of that same goal. But yeah, Aubameyang. Everyone, tell me your ratings. I'm just gonna say Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, 7 goals so far this season. Disrespected player. Lukaku and all these other guys, always bigging them up, but everyone bigging them up, but forgetting about Aubameyang. He's just doing his thing. Already 4 goals in the Premier League, up there in the goal tally charts right now. Obviously,
can I ask where does the other 3 goals come from? If you scored 7,
I want to know in the preseason, bro.
He scored a hat trick against.
He scored a hat trick against Wimbledon. No.
Oh, West Brom.
Or no, not Wimbledon. West Bromwich.
Oh yeah, okay.
West Brom from the 19 teams.
I'm just saying. We keep saying stuff like he's finished. People saying stuff like he's finished. Even I've said it. I'm not gonna lie to you. It might just be he might not be getting enough service.
Bro, Gal, do you remember when I came on at your half time in your watch along yesterday? I mentioned his goal. You know, the challenge that Lacazette got. I can't really. Was it against Konza or Twanzebe? But I feel that was a fair challenge. And you know, when he scored that goal, I thought that was wrongly, overruled because of VAR. But at the same time, the penalty that we did get, maybe that just balanced it out. But look, for me, he got a goal yesterday. Yep.
The 3 assists.
I feel 8.5.
He got a goal and a direct assist. What do you mean pre-assist? That was a direct assist.
Sorry to cut you off right there, yeah. He got Tyrone Cooney in the chat, right? He just put a comment and he said to Mike London, who's a Chelsea fan, right? And he said, "You'd never see us Arsenal fans rate your players. Ha ha ha. We are real fans." Bro, comment of the fucking night. My fucking guy. Love that shit. Sorry, we move.
But you know what? I'll tell you this. I don't mind the rivals. More eyes to each other.
No. Let them chat between themselves. But I love the fact that he come and just deaded it. Bro, we don't go in Chelsea facts, Chelsea fan channels and go chat shit about them. We ain't got time. We're too busy judging Arsenal out here.
Bro,
yeah?
we live rent free in their heads, bro. They've just pammed Norwich. But yet they still want to come
and to us. Why? You man just won 7-0.
Aslan, what did you give him?
8.5.
We move.
Some people are giving him 7.5.
I'm giving him 7.5.
8.5 is too high. He wasn't
7.5.
He didn't.
Bro, that's my opinion. Like, if the majority overrules, I'm happy with an 8. Or if it is a 7.5, cool. Like, I'm just giving what I'm seeing, bro. Look, at the end of the day, bro, he could have gotten 2 goals and he assisted that flick that he done.
He scored 2 goals.
No, but like the offside goal where he did score, that should have stood. In my opinion, that should have stood. So he would have gotten 2 goals.
We really. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. It didn't count. But the link-up play, that flick that he made for Smith Rowe in order for him to get in behind into that space and for Smith Rowe to get his goal, that was a sick pass, bro. So again, I feel he put in a shift like Laka. So all right, maybe 8.5 is a bit too much. I would settle for an 8.
But as we're ignoring the negatives. We're only talking about the positives. The negatives, he should have scored in the first half, in the first 10 minutes even.
He should have headed it, but it was.
He decided to go for an overhead kick, thinking he's in
the opening couple of minutes.
That in itself is a -1 because you have an opportunity to score a goal and you're trying to be a flary.
7.
Like it was stupid, yeah.
Just give him a 7.
I totally forgot about that. You're right,
You've got to think, right? Oh yeah, but we won the game. It don't matter.
So can I lock it in, guys?
Imagine if that's Man City, bro, and like this guy tries an overhead kick and misses it. Like you ain't getting another chance. So he's just.
I saw that.
Look, I'm happy he's scoring goals. But
I think a 7.5 is fair. To be honest.
Yeah, actually,
we meet in the middle.
7.5.
Yeah.
We'll meet in the middle. 7.5. Oh, not 6.5. 7.5. Yeah, 7.5. Lock it in.
Yeah. Just give it out.
Just so you guys know, people in the comment section are show started a civil war. Aubameyang 6. Man said 7.5. Man said 7. someone was laughing about the Odegaard 7. United fans are in the chat saying, "Sure, they're not allowed to speak."
Oh my
And
lord!
the guy said, "No, he likes you."
Big up,
Wait.
big up Vibes FC as well.
Have you lot just seen what
Big up vibes,
Ibrahimovic
man.
did?
Big up vibes.
Ibrahimovic has so Ibrahimovic has played 957 games. He scored his first ever own goal.
Oh my god!
Wait, say that again. Say that again.
So
What?
man's played 957 matches as a professional footballer, and today he scored his first ever own goal. Ibrahimovic.
No,
Oh
you
my
know
God.
he's gonna come out with
His
Ibrahimovic.
legacy's ruined. He's done. He's
Ibrahimovic
done.
is such a legend.
He's done at it.
Ibrahimovic is such a legend. He's gonna come out with a quote and saying, "I
did it on
now have
purpose.
more. I scored a better goal than that whole other team for them."
He's gonna say something.
No, on a real, he'll come out and say, "I can't finish my career without a goal." Like, what happened?
Right.
Like, he'll run with it, fam.
He'll say something like, "I've scored so many goals. I deserve to score."
I've
an own goal."
scored 538 goals, whatever it is, more than I have.
It's only right I scored one own goal, innit? Like, he's gonna say it. He's gonna say it. I'm Zlatan. I can do whatever I want. I'll
Facts.
score whatever I
He'll just say that, innit?
Yeah.
He'll just say, "I'm Zlatan, bro. I don't care."
want. That's the one.
United fan said, "Don't slander me. That I'm on loan to Brentford." What?
Welcome to London, my guy. Welcome to London, bro.
People.
No,
Wait,
he's
is Vibes a United fan?
Yeah,
He's already in London. He's already in
Is
London.
it?
I know you didn't think he was a fucking Arsenal fan.
Yo, people, I'm off this. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. I got 15 minutes before I start work. Shout out to Samuel. Shout out to Uncle Laurie doing his thing. Man came
Big
through.
up Laurie, man.
Came through at the game. Shocks. Gooner Express.
Don't forget me. I was at the game.
Martinelli.
Bro,
Don't forget Samuel.
Samuel,
We
no
got
cares.
Belbao who came through. We had George who came through. And we also had my guy, Gerard, who came through. So shout out to everyone.
1 second. Before you end it, Igal, I'm going to say this was a lit stream still. This is
There
a
you
very
go.
Yeah,
There
100%.
you go. You know what it is? Just vibes, guys. And people, don't forget to smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you're
I
new.
just want to say one thing as well, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Raptors are shit, man.
And also, Graham Potter's better than Tuchel.
Oh, Mushti! I nearly got cooked for saying that.
I just wanted to say as well, yeah.
What did you say?
Joel Idaho.
I said it.
in the academy,
So you
better
DM me
than
that,
bro.
and I sent it in the space, innit? Yo, these man started cooking me after that, bro.
Yo, I'm just going to say Scotty Barnes, Rookie of the Year. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? I need you guys to go check out my channel and subscribe if you're new. And don't forget.